One of the biggest criticisms about doing bodyweight exercises at home is that they're too easy. Bodyweight squats, push-ups, you feel like you can progress these exercises to a certain extent before they just become, like nothing. But in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how to make these bodyweight exercises
infinitely more challenging
by simply being more mindful of your spinal posture. Now, I'm not talking about simply standing up straight. There's actually a lot more that goes into that to make standard bodyweight exercises, squats, lunges, push-ups, even things like sit-ups, more challenging. And that challenge comes from being properly aligned. And that's probably something that you haven't even thought about for a while in your exercise routine. You might think, okay, brace your abs, and that's it. But it's a lot more than brace your abs. The acronym that I like to use is F-Brash. Or F-Brash. F-Brash being Facebook. God, it gives me a rash when I look at the posts. However you want to think about it. But F-Brash or F-Brash is a way that we can think about aligning our posture from the ground up. If you think you're good at push-ups or squats, I'm about to show you that you're not as good as you think. Also, if you're someone who doesn't work out at home, this postural alignment literally applies to pretty much any weighted exercise that you would do at the gym. F is for feet. And properly aligning our feet starts by having our feet pointing forward and creating torque in the feet by thinking about them screwing outward into the ground. And this screwing motion is what helps to build a strong connection through the feet, which is the start of our entire kinetic chain. B is for butt. And all you have to do here is squeeze your glutes, aka your butt. Now you don't have to squeeze your butt as hard as you can, but just create a little bit of tension by simply squeezing in your butt cheeks. Now moving up past the hips, we have R, which is ribs. And for the rib alignment, we're essentially trying to stack our chest over our ribs. And this stacking of the chest over the ribs is what creates a neutral spine and prevents overextending or over-rounding our spine. The way you can check this is with the two-hand test. If you take one hand and place it at the bottom of your sternum, and the other hand at the bottom right at your hip bone, they create these two parallel lines. And you want those to essentially be stacked up from a side view. These will get unstacked if you are leaning too far back or rounding too far forward. Once you've got your chest stacked over your ribs, the next part is A, and that is abs. Just like with the butt, it's not about squeezing your abs as hard as possible, but creating some tension there by getting a light squeeze in your abs. Continuing up the chain, next is S, and that's for shoulders. And we should be trying to externally rotate the shoulders. That means trying to take our shoulders, similar to screwing the feet into the ground, we're thinking about that out and back motion of the shoulders. You don't need to exaggerate this by pinning them back like this, and that will tend to usually undo our spine position we've already established, but just a slight external rotation helps to align your shoulders in position. And the last part of F-Brash or F-Brash is the head. And all we have to do here is think about stacking our head back in alignment with the rest of our body. So putting it all together, we are screwing our feet into the ground, getting a light squeeze of our butt, stacking our chest over our ribs, bracing the abs, externally rotating the shoulders, and then bringing the head back to stack it all together. Now in this position, you can already feel how much more active your entire body is. You can literally just stand there and feel like you're doing more than you were before because now you're actually using your kinetic chain from the ground up. And it's precisely this position we are trying to maintain as we perform our bodyweight exercises. And weighted exercises too. So now let's put all of that into practice with a simple bodyweight squat. So F-Brash, we've got our feet first, creating torque in our feet by screwing them into the ground. We get our butt slightly squeezed forward. We are now taking our chest over our ribs, bracing our abs, externally rotating the shoulders, and stacking our head back. Now from here, you can bring your arms out, everything else stays in a line, and we go down for a squat. And right now, with no weight, no external resistance, just a body weight squat, your entire body is infinitely more active, and even just a couple reps feels more intense than a set of like 10 or 15. And that is because this alignment protocol gets your entire body and your brain focused more to bring more quality to every rep. Now what's great is that the same alignment protocol applies to upper body exercises too, and any exercise that you're in a plank for. So we just start F-Brash with the feet, creating torque in them by externally rotating them onto B, a slight butt squeeze. Now taking our chest and aligning it over the ribs, bracing the abs, externally rotating the shoulders by creating an outward force in the hands, and then aligning our head. And now, oh man, even just holding this plank, you feel it way more. And now you go down for your push-up, everything staying in alignment in a single rep of push-ups.
Infinitely more challenging
Than it was before you started thinking about the alignment. Okay, not infinitely, but every rep becomes that much harder with no weight vest, no plates on your back, no decline push-ups, nothing like that. Now, not only have we gotten more of our body active and in the moment for these exercises, but we've also stabilized the joints that are moving, and the muscles working for each exercise are working as they should. We're not letting energy leak away from the system or leave opportunities for potential injury. And especially if you start training under load with things like bench presses and loaded squats, all of a sudden these mechanics become even more important to prevent those energy leaks and to keep us injury-free. Becoming more mindful of this position and getting it to feel more intuitive and less like piece by piece and remembering the acronym is simply just going to take time and practice. But I promise when you start thinking about this more for all of the exercises that you do, you will realize you don't need to keep adding weight to the exercises and you can't do 100 reps of push-ups in a row. That every rep becomes more intense, more intentional. We are getting more out of each rep and we are reducing the risk of injuries. While yes, progressing weight in numbers, etc., is important for continuing to build strength and to maximize your performance over time, if we're not thinking about our spinal mechanics and our posture throughout every exercise, we're missing out on potential gains. And eventually, something's going to get compromised at some point, which can lead to an injury, which can set you back weeks or months even. So before you start complaining that your at-home exercises are too easy or you don't know how to progress them, keep in mind these body mechanics to start leveling up your workouts. Let me know your thoughts down below and be sure to subscribe for more fitness content.